Robin asked me, one thing I would love to know is the anatomy of your lessons. What do you include in a 30-minute lesson, 40 minutes, 60 minutes? Basically, how do you structure your lessons? That's a great question, Robin. We're going to talk all about how to structure your private piano lessons to get the most out of those fleeting minutes with your students. Hi, I'm Phoenix, and I'm the Tattooed Piano Teacher. In today's video, I'm going to give you an inside look at how I think a 30-minute lesson should be structured, a 40-minute lesson, and a 60-minute lesson. However, I want to make it clear that this is just a starting point, and every lesson can and should look a little bit different based on what you're working on, the individual student, etc. So feel free to use these schedules that I'm going to share with you as a starting point for planning your lessons if you're a newbie teacher, or to just kind of see how our teaching styles compare if you've been doing this for a while. But please don't take this as like, this is the only way to structure your lessons, because even I break out of these schedules that I'm going to share with you quite often. So the first question is, how long should a piano lesson be? And this could probably be its own video. Oh wait, it was its own video. The most common private piano lesson length is still 30 minutes, so I'm going to start there. But as you know from this video, I like 40 minutes. Even for beginners, 40 minutes is like the magical number in my studio, and that's the length of lessons that I teach the most and that I push the most. However, I do still teach some 30-minute lessons. But you're gonna see when we get into the schedules how little time 30 minutes really is. I do also offer 50-minute lessons and 60-minute lessons, just so this video isn't eternal. I'm going to focus on a schedule for 30, 40, and 60 minutes. Now, if you personally teach 45-minute lessons or 50-minute lessons, then just split the difference between the 40-minute schedule and the 60-minute schedule to come up with an approximation of how long to spend on each activity. Now, before I share the individual schedules for each lesson length with like how exactly many minutes you should be spending on each activity, I'm just going to share a little description of the different parts of the lessons so that when I say technique, you know what I'm talking about. The first thing that you'll see included in every single schedule is a 5-minute in and out buffer time. Now, this is the time at the beginning and the end of the lesson when the student is coming in the door, taking off their shoes, getting their books out, and all of that, telling you about the theater audition they had or the soccer game or whatever, and then the time it takes them to get back out the door. Some students need longer than 5 minutes, but I'm just going to give it a flat 5 minutes for the in and the out buffer. Warm-ups. All of my warm-ups for any level are going to be 5 minutes long, and the reason that I stick to 5-minute warm-ups is because if it takes the student way longer than 5 minutes to play through their warm-up, then it's probably not really serving them as a warm-up. In that case, it's probably more of a technique assignment, which is also important, but a different category. So what do I mean by warm-up versus technique? Warm-up is a routine that the student can do relatively easy as almost like an autopilot thing that they do when they sit down at the piano. So the warm-ups will change based on what level they are and what technical skills they have mastered / are working on. The warm-up should be mildly challenging, but it shouldn't be like a scale that they just learned yesterday. That is not a warm-up. That is technique. So technique is defined as an assignment in their technique book or a new skill that they are just learning. Any technical work that is not their warm-up routine. So that's how I differentiate those two. If you're not accustomed to always having your students do a warm-up, then I would not mind doing a whole video all about just warm-ups. We could definitely talk about that for an entire 10 minutes easily. So let me know in the comments if you want a warm-up video. But if you're just looking for something to change it up for your students, I have warm-up packs that I sell that are digital studio licenses. You can print them and use them as many times as you want. I have them in level 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'll link those down below. Lesson is another category, and this one would just be any like main lesson book work. So this would include hearing last week's assignment in the lesson book. It could mean introducing the next assignment in the lesson book and assigning it. It could mean introducing a new song by listening to it or playing it for them or sight reading it. It could include explaining a new concept that comes up in the lesson book, but lesson work would be that main working in the lesson book time in in the lesson. Theory time, pretty obvious, but this would be either working in the theory book, assigning something for the student to do at home, talking about something together, maybe doing a theory activity together or having them do a worksheet right there with you, maybe a time test, maybe a little theory game, could be anything theory related. You'll also see a category called performance/literature, and this would be extra pieces that they are working on that aren't necessarily within their lesson book. This could be an additional performance book that comes in the series to accompany the lesson book. It could be a supplemental songbook. If they're older, this could literally be a classical literature book that they are working through. It could be a pop and movie book or something like that, but like basically their song book that they are doing separate from the lesson book. And if you see special event, then that means like a recital piece, a competition piece that they are working on outside of their curriculum altogether. You'll also see a fun piece designation in some of the longer length lessons. And this would be like, okay, they have their performance book or their recital piece they're working on, but then they're also learning this, Taylor Swift song or whatever. So the fun piece would be just like a fun side project, usually one that they have chosen, usually like a single sheet music type thing. And the last category you'll see in my schedules is extra. And so this would be any additional activities that you're going to do. You could use extra time to extend the lesson book time or the theory time or whatever you need it for, but extra is intended to be like listening or music appreciation or music history lesson together. It could be playing game, it could be improvising, it could be composing. When you get to the longer lesson lengths, then you have time to do these extra things that we love to do with our students, but we don't always have time to do. So that's what's included in the extra music theory, music history, an activity, a composing, an improv, lead sheet, learning, jazz, anything extra that's not in the regular curriculum. So that's the definition of the categories. Now let's get into how much time to spend on each activity, what order to do them in for a 30-minute lesson. Okay, for a 30-minute private lesson with a student, we're going to start out with that 5-minute in and out buffer time. Because 30 minutes is so short, we're gonna do either warm up or technique for 5 minutes. We're gonna spend 10 minutes on the main lesson book, 5 minutes in their performance or literature assignment, and 5 minutes on theory. And that's it, their lesson is done. This goes by so quickly. Now let's alter the schedule a little bit if they have a special event coming up. So if they're training for a recital, a competition, or another special event where they're going to have to perform a more challenging piece, then we're going to rearrange things just a little bit to prioritize that. So in the case of a special event coming up, we would do the 5-minute in and out buffer. We would focus on technique a little bit more. So we're gonna do 5 minutes for the warm up plus 5 minutes for technique work. Then we're gonna spend 5 minutes, more if needed, on the special piece that they're working on. And then we're gonna save the lesson book for last. Hopefully we still have 10 minutes to work on that. So again, the order of these things might change from week to week. The time you spend on one thing or the other is most certainly going to vary from week to week, from student to student, but this just gives you an idea of how things would look in the flow of a lesson. Now, before I give you the outline for the 40-minute time slot, if you are a new teacher and you are like, okay, I get this, but like, what do we actually do in each activity? What do we actually do for the theory? And you kind of want to think it out a little more before you step into the studio to teach your first lesson. I do have a lesson planning template, kind of follows this schedule more or less, but lets you kind of brainstorm and write out exactly what you're going to do and exactly which pages you're going to work on. So you go into those lessons feeling really prepared as a teacher. So that is free and it is linked down below. So let's say that you're teaching a 40-minute private piano lesson and this student does not have any special events coming up. It might look something like this. We've got our 5-minute in and out buffer. They are going to spend 5 minutes playing their warm up and then 5 minutes of technique work. 10 minutes on their main lesson, 5 minutes on their song or songs from their performance or literature book, 5 minutes on theory, and then we get 5 minutes for an extra activity at the end. Now, if they do have a special event coming up, let's just tweak this a little bit. We'll still have our 5-minute in and out buffer. We'll still do our 5-minute warm up and our 5 minutes of technical work. But after we get that done, we're going to go right to the special piece that they are working on and work on that 5 or more minutes. Then we know how much time we have left for the rest of our stuff. So then we're going to do hopefully 10 minutes on the lesson, the main lesson book, 5 minutes for a performance or literature assignment, and then 5 minutes for theory at the end of the lesson. Now you notice that there's still not a lot of extra time, even a 40-minute time slot. So what if we had a 60-minute lesson with a student? What would that look like? What could we fit in? Let's look at an example of a 60-minute private lesson with a student who is not preparing for a special event. They're still going to get 5 minutes for their in and out buffer. They're still going to do a 5-minute warm-up. They are going to do their 5 minutes of technical work. And then we get 15 minutes for the main lesson book. So we can kind of deep dive this assignment a little bit, or maybe assign them a little bit more. We get 10 minutes for theory, which is great. We get 10 minutes to work on maybe a couple of pieces they're working on in the performance book or literature book. And then we get 5 minutes for an additional fun piece of their choosing, and then 5 minutes of an extra activity at the end, which you could rotate from week to week. So 60-minute lessons are looking pretty good as a teacher now, aren't they? Now, if the student did have a special event coming up, we would just tweak things a little bit. We would still do the 5-minute in and out buffer. We would still do the 5-minute warm up and the 5 minutes of technique. We would next go to their special piece and spend about 10 minutes on it, more if needed. And then we would have the rest of the lesson time for their curriculum. So 15 minutes for their lesson book. We have 5 minutes to work on theory, 5 minutes for their performance or literature assignment, 5 minutes for their fun piece, and we still get 5 minutes of an extra activity. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, now you might be wondering, 60 minutes is a long time for a little beginner. Now I will say I have had a 5-year-old, I think is the youngest, do a 60-minute lesson. And that worked out just fine, but not every 5-year-old would be able to do that. But I love 60-minute lessons for anyone who will take them. However, when we are dealing with a younger student, let's say age 3 to 5 or 6, the lesson is going to look a little bit different, isn't it? Some of them can sit still, but a lot of them need a change of scenery, like every 5 minutes. So let's just look at an example of a 30-minute lesson, just for comparison, for an age 3 to 5 or 6. They would still get their 5 minutes of in and out buffer time. We're not going to do a warm-up. We're going to go right to an off-bench activity. So an off-bench activity just means we're not actually playing the piano keys. We're doing something else. So maybe we could start out with a movement activity or a game or some manipulatives. Then we'll go to the bench, to the piano, and then we'll spend 5 minutes on their assignment, their lesson book. Then we'll go off bench again for 5 minutes. And then maybe this time we will do a listening activity or a singing activity or a rhythm activity. Then we'll go back to the bench for a second session at the piano, just 5 minutes. Maybe we'll do the second lesson book song. Or if they have another supplemental book, we can do the second book in this 5-minute time frame. And then the last 5 minutes of the lesson we'll just take to go over the assignment. So if it's just them in the room with you, then you can kind of post it what they're going to do or go over it with them so they know what to do at home. Or if the parent is involved, then you could explain this is what we covered today. So that last 5 minutes for a young student is really helpful to have to go over the assignment or to review what's going on with parents. So that's what a 30-minute lesson would look like with a youngster. By the way, I almost always have a written blog post to accompany every YouTube video that I post. So if you're looking to reference this information or bookmark it for future use in writing, then I will link that article down below, so all of these schedules would be on that webpage for you. I also wanted to mention that I'm currently working on building up a library of behind the scenes footage of me teaching from the method books that I love. Right now this is a work in progress, but if you see the join button down below, then you'll know that I have it all worked out, and you are welcome to become a member of that community to access all of those exclusive behind the scenes videos as well. So again, be sure to grab that lesson planning template if you want to think this out and maybe plan out how you're going to pace out your lesson books in your first lesson with your students. If you're a new teacher, don't worry, this gets so much easier. You are able to just be flexible and pivot and not even really have to think about it before you step into your lesson. It just takes a little bit of time, but you can ease some of that anxiety going into your first few lessons as a teacher by planning it out ahead of time. And that's where this template is going to come in and help you. So if you're curious more about playing around with lesson lengths in your studio, then check out that video I mentioned where I talk about how I don't really like 30-minute lessons, how 40-minute lessons are really the key to having fun in lessons, covering all the things we want to cover, bringing up successful piano players. So I'll see you on that video or another one very soon. Thank you so much for watching.